What's up, guys? I'm James.
And I'm Noddy.
And this is the Nostalgia Podcast. What's up, guys? I'm James.
And I'm Noddy.
And this is the
Nostalgia Podcast.
What's up, guys? It's James.
And it's Noddy.
And this is the
Nostalgia Podcast. So on this podcast, we're going to talk about everything nostalgic, things old school, things that bring up like memories and things that make you remember the days way gone back in the olden days. For us, anyway.
So if you are looking to look anything, I suppose 90s, 2000s. Yeah. That's
late 80s for me.
80s to 2000s.
Yeah.
With that, I think let's start with a bit of gaming first, and let's go over the first game that is really memorable to you. What would you say it is? Like, you know, the first one that really stuck with you, remembered over the years, and you sort of base all the other games off of.
For me, it has to be Mario Karts, the first edition Mario Karts. I can remember that one like anything. Just playing it on the SNES was ridiculously good fun. I always remember because the first time I ever got one, I used to have a black and white TV. It was that long ago. And it used to have pull-out knobs and all that. Like, you used to sit there and have to change the channel and tune it in and everything to get it on. And then it was black and white. And I remember this is not how to do it. And then I got my first colour TV and it was the best thing ever.
Oh, I bet it was.
Playing that game was crazy.
I'd never actually played that console, to be honest.
You never played the SNES?
Yeah, never played the SNES. I started off with this really weird, and I'm not even sure what it is now, because I don't know, I suppose I was 8 or 9, maybe 1998, and it was just a box and it just had like loads of games on it. You can even put a thing in, it had like some Mario Karts, some shooting ones, some, I don't know what it is, I never found out, to be honest. It was like pre-Nintendo.
Atari or something like that.
Maybe, it was just, it was in Greece as well, so it was really like, you know, unlabeled box.
Pirate copy.
You know, one of the things I remember actually from it had this gun, and even to this day actually I still think, I don't know how they done it. Bear in mind it was like the colour cables, wasn't it? Was that the way you used to connect in the back? It was like red, yellow, that.
And white on it.
And white, yeah. So you had to connect it in, but it had a gun that could shoot at the screen and it could tell where the ducks were, which, you know,
how did that work out?
How does that work? Yeah. Fairly advanced. But I do love Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's the one. The new one's not so good, I don't think. Not as good, in my opinion.
I haven't actually played it.
Have you not? Mario Kart 8 or something like that's called.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I stopped playing after a while. It wasn't... I don't know. I like really lame games now, if I'm honest. Like, my choice of games was really like buttered out and got really sort of lame. You know, obviously Minecraft's probably my favourite, but like they're just.
You
like
still play
filming.
Minecraft, do you?
Yeah. So, well, say that. I do more filming for it now.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't play quite as much. It does take a huge amount of time to film videos on it. So yeah, I do enjoy it.
And stuff.
Yeah, and you tend to go on and off it as well. You're COD, aren't you? More COD.
Call of Duty is what I play quite a lot, but just recently I've been playing a lot of Rust. That's what I have been playing, and that's a survival game. But it's the most toxic game I've ever played in my life. You could spend all day getting everything up together and then find out this 13-year-old kid will just come and raid you and take everything you've got within a heartbeat like that, and you're just like, everything's gone within a split second, and you just like, I spent all day working on that.
How are your loading times for Rust? Do you have to spend ages, or is it just my computer?
It depends on how many people are on the server. If there's hundreds of people, because it's a max of 100, and if there's 100 people on the server, then you get put in a queue to go on the server, and then as soon as someone backs out of the server, then you get to go in.
Perhaps that was it.
So
I spent way too long with that. In fact, there was one thing that put me off the waiting times. I wasn't sure whether it was my PC just not loading up everything.
See, I play it on console. See, there's a new one that came out 2 years ago, console edition. And that's one that I play. The one that you play is PC edition. The PC edition is like a lot further along than what the console edition is.
Oh, perhaps that was...
So there's a lot more people that play it, and there's a lot more that you can do in it. But there's different
the assets. There was a thing, because like it was loading the assets, and it would be like one, and it would be like one of 26,000, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to be here a while.
Yeah, on the console ones, that goes pretty quick. Like, you literally might be sat there for like a minute, and then that'll all be loaded up and you're in.
No way.
As long as you're on the right sort of servers. Obviously, if you're sat in a queue, you can be sat there for hours waiting to get into it. Get into a game. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind getting it on console then, because that really did put me off. And obviously the fact, like you said, I've never really got past the hut. You know, I get the hut and I get a chest, And then that's it, someone finds me, they find me so quick and I'm just so inexperienced. I don't know how to make a gun.
You got to collect all the necessary components to build a gun first, and then get the blueprint to be able to build the gun.
So how do you get these blueprints? I think I got stuck there.
So blueprints, you can either, so say if you go along and you find a crate or something like that and it's got a gun in it, you get that gun and you take it to a research table, and then you, with scrap, which is another component that you gather while you're running around, if you've got enough of that, you can then use the scrap to research the gun, which will then turn the gun into a blueprint. But then that will actually mean, as long as you can get to a workstation, you can then build that gun.
No way.
But you could go through all of that, get that gun built and that, and run outside, someone shoots in the head and that takes that gun off you and that's it, you've not got that gun anymore. But if you researched it, you're all right, because you can go back through and try and collect everything back up and build the gun again. You don't have to research it again.
Do you have a team when you play? Do you have anyone you join?
Sometimes you can play solo, sometimes you can be as like a 20-man deep crew with one massive base, and you all like take it in turns, and there's always someone on. Because there's people obviously all around the world. Like sometimes I play with Australians, sometimes I play with Americans, and sometimes, you know what I mean, you play with different people all around the world. So
yes, I suppose the bigger team you have, the more the more protection you have, because you got like people logging on at all times, somebody to protect the base.
Exactly.
One thing I did, and it's sort of, I don't know, the way I sort of see it similarly, is Fallout. Did you ever play any Fallout?
I didn't. I have been interested. I keep meaning to look at it and go, oh, should I try that? Should I get it? Should I get it? Because it is, again, I like the survival-ish kind of games.
Oh yeah,
I've always thought about, like, I've looked at that and gone, should I get Fallout? I've never actually committed and got it.
Oh really? It takes a lot of time getting into as well.
Right.
Yeah, just there's so many. Have you seen clips of it? Do you know, sort of like?
I haven't really seen much of it, no.
So there's so many choices. Everything has a choice, and you know, like the way that you build the way through the storyline is based. The end is based on what you've done, basically. You know, so if you make a wrong choice, or potentially a wrong choice could affect it at the end. But it just takes ages, and you have to really like remember what's happened.
Right.
So like, you might. It's sort of like in the way that you collect items. You can't just like get something. You might have to make it. And you have to remember the recipe, and you have to remember who you spoke to, remember who's your friend. So yeah, it's one that if you've got some time, I'd definitely get into. But
yeah, it does sound pretty good. But like you say, having time with these sort of games, you need to have time to do it. With Rust, you literally could be sat on the game for 5 hours straight, and then all you have to show for it is a little hut. You know what I mean? If you're working by yourself. But then that's where the advantages of having a team come in, because if there's 10 of you running around collecting resources, your base is going to get built 10 times as quick. You know what I mean?
Ever play any Ark? Or we not really?
No, I played that once, and I just couldn't get my head around it. Same with DayZ as well, the other survival game.
I've wanted to play that.
Second,
so you have played it?
Yeah, I played a few games of that, and it's a lot. It's a lot to take on. Like with Rust, as long as you've got the pace and you know what you're doing, you can just smash through it. But with that DayZ one, it took me a good few goes of going in and getting into it and doing to do. Yeah, because
that is my type of game. I love zombies. Zombie apocalypse is just like my thing. You know, I used to play. I know. One of the new ones that's just come out is Dead Island. Have you heard of that? Yeah, I used to play one, and I did find that quite good.
Is that the one where you craft weapons and stuff like that, and you can make loads of different stuff?
Yeah, and you just sort of make your way through this weird area. I didn't like complete it in any way. You know, I wasn't great at it, but you know, I did play it, and I found it quite good. And I think it was the multiplayer aspect. But it was before multiplayer aspect was like a massive thing. So yeah, I've heard good and bad things about Dead Island too. Yeah, and I suppose that's also why I'm quite into Minecraft, which, although it seems very kid-like game and stuff, it in essence, you're in a world and you have to survive. There's things that could kill you, you know. So yeah, and building aspect and stuff. And
well, that's one of the first things my kids said when I showed them Rust. They were like, this is like Minecraft, but an adult's version.
Yeah.
And Minecraft, the kids' version.
Oh, exactly that.
So it is exactly that.
And they can get a bit dark and scary in Minecraft, or, you know, they keep putting in new monsters and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's a fun one, fun genre anyway.
I watch a lot of videos of Minecraft, but I've never played it. Like I watch the boys when they play it, and they always show me like, oh, look at my house I built and all this sort of stuff. And like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's like, yeah. But then they watch YouTube and they watch Minecraft videos all the time. And a lot of them are like, oh, the builders, like they got God builders and all like that sort of stuff. You start off with a really low build, and then you go work your way up to a God builder, and and they're like doing all the different stuff, and then they all blow them up at the end and stuff. But I watch a lot of Mr. Beast ones as well. Like I've watched a lot of Mr. Beast playing Minecraft, But didn't you have a chance to go on?
Oh, it still makes me sad to this day. It wasn't even 1 time or 2 times.
2 times, is it?
Yeah, so like,
Wow.
I got invited. The way it works is through the Discord, you get like an invite, and they've got like millions of people on the Discord.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and they'll just pick random people, and then you get like a ping on your Discord. So I got it, but I got it quite late, like when it was about to happen. So it's like, yes, you know, I still managed to get in. You have to sort of interview and speak so they can hear that your mic's doing all right, you know. And they sounded really like positive. Like, oh, your mic's quite good. You know, I was like, I'll do a bit of YouTube, and you know, sort of like going back and forth about having footage. I thought, oh, that's going to be great. I'm going to get footage on here as well. I was allowed to record as long as I didn't put it out before the video's out. And yeah, loaded into the Minecraft lobby. They'd had these mods and stuff. Obviously, I can say now, but yeah, it was like a Mars one with like these guns. They had to get to this red planet. Sorry, not Mars.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, I saw him load in. I saw Mr. Beast load in as a Minecraft character. Chandler. Can't remember who else. And then I realised that I had to. Like, we had a house viewing. Like. Then and then, like we had to leave the old flats. There was just absolutely no way that I could miss this.
Oh no!
It's where we live now. And I was just like, oh my god, I don't know what to do, and I can't. I'm going to have to leave. And I did. I ended up having to leave. I had to explain to one of the admins that flew over. They're like, right, is everyone ready to go? I said, I'm really sorry. Like, I have to go. And luckily I did, because yeah, we got.
Where are you living now?
Got where we're living now, but yeah. And that's, it's not even, because so what ended up happening is they re-recorded the next day.
Okay.
And I missed it by an hour. So that was, yeah, and it's yeah.
So they didn't even do it again. They didn't record it the first time.
Yeah, something ended up happening. They had to re-record it,
and you still missed the re-recording.
Yeah. So they kept me on the group. They keep me on the group if they have to re-record.
Well, they ain't gonna get you back again, are they?
Oh, no. Well, I just thought about it. My chances in the millions. I was like, when's that gonna happen?
That's it. That was your one chance. Well, 2 chances technically, and you thrift it.
So that's it now. That's my lifetime of Mr. Beast.
Although
I don't know whether
you never know though. You never know.
I think he does a lot of videos about different things, so doesn't he? So it's not always Minecraft now.
And he might come over to the UK and want more UK people when he's over here, because he does come over here and do things over here, doesn't he? So he might be like, oh, I'm coming to the UK, where's my UK guys at?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You never know.
That would be awesome. But,
get him here to come do a podcast with us. So actually, I read somewhere saying that he does more podcasts with other people than his own one, because it promotes him to everyone.
Oh, I didn't know he had his own one. I've only seen him in other ones.
Well, maybe he doesn't have his own. Maybe he doesn't have his own one.
No, potentially he does, and maybe.
But I think I remember I seeing an interview with him in a podcast, and he says he goes and does as many podcasts as he can because it's free promotion to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The amount of people that he's then getting put out to, it's all of the people that watch that podcast might not watch the next one, but so he goes on to the next one, and he's you know what I mean? So it's just all it's doing is giving him more coverage.
Oh, definitely.
So going on more podcasts. So get a message in.
Yeah. Hello.
Remember me, the one that didn't come on your.
Oh no, I'm still slightly bitter about that to this day.
I would be as well. That's like you say, because big things could only come from something. Could only come from something like that.
It's true. I was even bitter watching it as well, because my son clearly is. The second it came out, he's very much into Mr. Beast. He watches it. He told me, "Dad, the thing you were supposed to be on."
Every time.
And it was sad times.
So they've recorded it now and it's out.
Yeah. It's something called like the Red Planet or Mars or the Red Planet or something like that. So yeah, if you want to search it up, it is on the gaming.
Right. Okay. I'll get Mr. Beast Gaming, because he's got all millions of different ones, doesn't he? He's got Mr. Beast Spanish, Mr. Beast Italy. That's what's making him speak, isn't it? Because he's got one's in Spanish, one's in French, one's in, and obviously then all the French-speaking people can then watch him. So that's what makes him collectively, with all of his YouTube channels, the biggest YouTuber going.
Well, he's a great businessman as well, just to like think of
the way to do it. But yeah, it's crazy the way he produces video, and all his money goes back into his videos and everything. And he lives in like a normal size house, and he lives in his studio, doesn't he?
I don't know now, but I know that he's definitely come from very humble like ways, isn't he? And I think that's what makes him so likable as well. Like you know, rather than being like flash and arrogant.
Yeah, exactly. Driving around in Lambos all the time and stuff.
Oh, I saw a clip, and obviously I can't verify exactly, but it seemed to be him explaining it afterwards, of him getting arrested recently. And the clips of him getting put in the car, and then afterwards he explains, he's like, yeah, so what happened basically, I was giving away money like I normally do. And I made the joke about having a printing machine in my house. Yeah, someone actually called the police on me. They had to go check they didn't have a printing machine.
Wowzers.
Like, wow.
Okay.
Some people are bitter. I think.
Oh no, very much. That's like a swatting thing, isn't it? As well, like when people are alive, like you get swatted.
Oh, that's terrible. I don't know why.
It's ridiculous. Like, why do that? That could cause someone serious pain.
Yeah,
the police could just come in and just see something completely wrong, and get a completely wrong end of the stick, and just shoot someone. And it's just not the way to be doing stuff. Yeah. Especially in America, it's mental.
I was going to say that it makes a big difference rather than here, doesn't it? Because they could actually get shot. You know, you have a good rate of it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Compared to here.
Like we do have armed police, but not the ones that are going to be coming around your door and kicking your door in or something like that, and be like straight away shooting.
And talking about that brings me on to a point that I did want to raise. Have you seen any GTA 6 footage? I saw a very nice trailer.
I haven't seen anything properly yet.
Have
you see a trailer? I have not seen anything yet.
Yeah, let's see if I can maybe pull one up. That was quite nostalgic.
Yeah. San Fierro, is that what it's called then, is it? Welcome back to Vice City.
Multiple areas.
Wowzers. Yeah, because I've seen the map size. It's like 3 times the size or something like that of what the old Liberty City. Vinewood.
That is nostalgic.
Yeah, this literally is like all of the GTAs, isn't it? They're bringing back lots of things into one. That's crazy.
Driving graphics look insane.
If this is like this, obviously this isn't gameplay. This can't be gameplay footage, can it? If it is, then this is mental. Do not say you can go into space. That would be mental if you can go into space. It's mental. The graphics do look mental, and like what you can do and everything.
Your little advertisement.
I was going to say Pepsi. Wow. Hello.
Oh, maybe I missed it on this clip. Was it about to come up? I don't want to say it too early.
Was that the Shard then that they had? I swear that was the Shard. That was the Shard. I think that's London, isn't it?
Well, if only.
Well, they had a London one, didn't they? One of the second ones they brought out or something.
Yeah. When it was the bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think they're going to show it, or they haven't showed it, or we missed it. But I saw animals, horses that you could ride.
No way.
Yeah. Because I know they've
that would
dogs,
be crazy.
The horses that you can ride and
Actually, really running around on horses and stuff.
Could you imagine jumping out of a car and then quickly on the horse across the fields? I wonder how police would take you down.
Let me just have a look. I want to see if that was the Shard they had then. So if that was the Shard, then that's London, isn't it? Coming up, it's around here somewhere. I swear it was there. I swear it looked like the Shard. It's a big like triangle thing. It's like a big cone thing, isn't it?
They've stole the building.
There.
Yeah.
See what I mean? That looked like the Shard, didn't it?
Yeah. Sure, that would be crazy. Unless they had destinations that you could maybe travel to. Like missions, like travel to London to do this.
There, look. That's not the Shard. Looks like it though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That must be that must be a building in New York somewhere. But that is literally what the Shard looks like, isn't it?
Yeah. I wonder if they're ever going to bring back gangs. Do you remember was it GTA 5 where you could like get a few crewmates to get in your car as well?
Was that online?
No, pre-online version. So it was like when you had I can't even remember the names of Grove Road Street, and you had the
okay,
grab some and you drive around. See, that was my favourite part, being able to grab some people and just go for it.
Was that a different game? Wasn't that what was that other game?
Oh, San Andreas, sorry.
No, Saints Row. Remember Saints Row?
Yeah.
That was the one where you went round and you had your 2 different gangs, and you'd go round and you picked the other members up as you'd go round. Took over the different areas, and you got your gang bigger and bigger and bigger, and your colour was like started off as a small area, and then you go.
That was really fun.
Expanded and took over, didn't you?
I wish we'll have to bring that back on. No, that'll be it. Did they carry that on?
They did. They bring a couple more out. They did for sure. And cause I remember it being on the 360, because that's what it came out on. And then I remember them having one on the. Is it the one? I can't remember what it was.
One.
What was the one just before the one they brought out now? There's the one, isn't it?
Yeah, Xbox. Yeah. 360 and Xbox One.
Yeah. And I'm sure they brought it out on that. And they had like some Saints Row versions on that. I just can't remember what it was called or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. It was also like competing GTA, wasn't it? I remember at the start thinking that. So it was sort of similar in the way that you could drive around and do gang, and it was at the same time as San Andreas. So it was. And
they were the 2 competing for each other. This is the big map, free roam, do what you want kind of thing. And that was the big thing back then. Remember when the first GTA came out, when it was the first one of actually being in third person view, and you're actually behind the car, or it's not third person, is it? What's it called? Yeah, it's third. It is third person, isn't it?
Third person sort of like from behind you.
Yeah, that's it, when you're looking down. So you got first person when you're looking, and then and the third person's when you're up behind. But yeah, when it was the first time they brought it out as a third person, everyone was going mad about it. Everyone was, oh no, I'm not coming out today. I'm going to play this. It's coming out. GTA's coming out. It's going to be mental. I remember like that went down the skate park and it was empty. And I was like, why is it empty down there? It's like everyone. Then my mate came down and went, oh yeah, GTA's come out, so everyone's playing that. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't realise this come out, so I was there skating, and then literally I remember going around my mate's house and playing it a few days later and being like, my God, this is mental.
Yeah,
it was just back then. It was just the first big map free roam game there was, wasn't it?
I was going to say. It was the first experience like that, and it was really like, whoa.
Yeah. Now it's pretty much every game is like that now, isn't it? Every game that you pretty much play is a big map, free roam. Mm-hmm. That's what everyone wants to play. It's not many games now that come out that are mission games anymore, really, are there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything's online.
Ones. Yeah, that's true.
And also, you don't have so much sitting down on the same console and playing, do you, anymore, which is quite a shame. Like me and my son really struggle to find games that we can just sit and play. You know, especially new ones. We can't find any
split screen games.
Split screen games. You know, ones that used to play like when like people used to come round. Now it's all about doing it from your own house, and you know, which is a shame. It's a shame.
I remember we used to have parties round at my mum, but when I used to live with my mum and dad back in the day, and we'd get two screens on the table, one side, one on the other side, and then we'd have the Xboxes linked up, and you'd have a team of four one side, team of four the other side, and you'd be 4v4. And then we used to have so many parties like that.
Halo.
Yeah, on Halo. God, we used to do it all the time, and it was so good. And like nowadays, you wouldn't do that, because to do that, you'd need 8 Xboxes, 8, and everyone would have to be linked up to the same thing. It would just be crazy if you try to do that nowadays.
That used to be insanely fun. Did you ever play Time Splitters?
No, I never played Time Splitters. I did see a lot about it, but I never played it.
Oh, it's a shame. Like, I think some people, like, they either really love it or it's not their thing at all, you know. Yeah, it was one of them, you know, it's team against team. It wasn't quite open world, but it felt quite big. Like, the map started to increase, and yeah, that was fun times.
I remember I was more into Tony Hawk. When Tony Hawk's came out, every single one religiously from number 1 all the way through to the undergrounds, all of them I literally played religiously. And they were literally my favourite games. And then they brought out Skate, and then I played Skate, and then any skateboarding games basically.
I didn't transition into Skate very well, so I loved Tony Hawk's. The first game that I really loved, apart from GTA, but I never really transitioned into Skate. Just that I was way more into the button bashing, trying to keep yourself. Balance. Yeah, you know, grinding at the same balance. Yeah. And it was just such a change. And I've played it a few times. It can be fun, but
the controls for Skate were a lot more. You had to actually do the movements, learn movements, which is what, in principle, skating is all about. You learn movements to be able to move the board in such a way to do the trick. So obviously, when you had to move the analog stick in a certain way to make sure the character did the certain trick, it just blew everyone's mind. Everyone was just like, wow, that's amazing.
It was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Everyone must play it. And you'd sit there for ages. And I remember when I first got it and I sat there, I think it was about 3-4 hours, excuse me, just learning to jump up a curve. And that's all I was just learning to do. Just literally working out timing to get the timing right, so that where you'd know when to pop right to get up and land perfectly on the curve. It took me so long just to learn that process and how to do it perfectly and get the fun. But once you've got it, you're like, oh. And you pretty much do it every time. And it's like that with skateboarding.
I was going to say, it must have been pretty good as a skateboarder, playing a game that sort of was like a bit more
the same feeling.
Rather than like blue button.
Button bashing.
Yeah.
Press this to jump, press this to grind, press this to do backflips.
They did have some fun series. I don't remember the names at all. I'm terrible with names, but the one where you sort of like, it was like a ghetto neighbourhood in America, and that's where you started, you know, to run around and sort of complete missions that way. That was quite a fun one. Don't remember what it was.
Was it the Underground series? Was it?
I think
it might have been the Underground. The ones when bands started coming into them and stuff like that. And there's loads of missions, and you have to drive the cars and stuff as well.
Yeah. That was quite a.
That started on the Tony Hawk. Started getting a bit crazy. That did.
It did, yeah.
But the first one and the second one were by far the best Tony Hawks going, by a long shot. And when they done the remaster recently, it was just. Everyone bought it. It went mad. It's crazy.
Yeah, we got that. That's a 2-player one actually that we can both sit there and play. So it's definitely one that we had to
get.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, absolutely. So yeah, we got that one. I've still got the Xbox One. I haven't quite gone to the next any console yet.
You're not
Yeah.
got a new gen, no? You're on the old gen.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of, to be honest, now primarily just plays Netflix.
Right.
Yeah. So we've just, even my son's moved to PC, which I never ever thought would happen.
Really?
Yeah, he's always been very keen on any console. He's got a PlayStation. Oh, I've been playing Oculus. You know,
Oh,
the
okay.
big, 3D
Okay, yeah, VR.
That's been quite fun. On weekends, he'll bring it around. And we've been having goes on that. And that's, but yeah, it gives me a headache, but it's so fun that I've been playing Pavlov, which is a shooting game. And you really are getting into it. I've got quite good. It's quite simple, but yeah. Simple but fun.
Yeah. It's one of them things.
Yeah, I couldn't do it for too long.
No. I find that with a lot of games nowadays. I find if I'll get myself stuck into them and I'll be playing them for ages and then I'll be like, whoa, this is just taking my life away. I need to stop. And I'll stop for a while. Like Rust, again, going back to Rust. I can literally sit and play that game non-stop for days on end and not realise that I'm playing it for days on end. It is crazy. Like you could just be like, because you always got something you need to do. You know what I mean? To progress further, there's always like something you need to do, something that needs to be done for the base to either keep the base going, because the base is constantly. So you're always constantly there, constantly needing to be there, constantly needing to top it up the cupboard and making sure that you're on top of things. So it can end up being, I'm just going to quickly pop on and just do this quick. And then you've done that, and then you're like, oh, that needs doing now. Oh, I'll quickly do that. Oh, that's done. Oh, I need to do that. And then by the time you've done all that, you look at you're like, bloody hell, I've been on this for like 4 hours. Like, what's going on? It's like I've been playing all day.
It's a good and bad thing, though, isn't it, when that happens? Because it's bad, obviously, time-wise, but it's so great to get into one of them.
For sure.
Bubbles.
Gaming, and that you can just sit there and be away with the fairies, basically.
Yeah, pure enjoyment.
Exactly. That's what games are intended for. They're intended to be enjoyed. But I've noticed since the weather's changed, I've been more wanting to go outside and enjoy the weather because it is now lush. So especially the last few days.
In the UK, you got to take it whilst it's here. You don't miss opportunities. Top can come off, it comes off. Because
even if you do go out, you can still have to take a coat with you because it could just be a day. Like, oh look, it's lovely, it's blue skies, and then you go out and the rain comes and you just fucking. It's been terrible.
You have enjoyed the podcast. Obviously, we're going to be back for more. If you've got any sort of like comments, suggestions and stuff like that, obviously leave them down in the comments, and it might be something that we could go over on the next podcast.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed what we talked about. You know, we're just sitting here having a chat about what we like, what we used to get up to, and hopefully you guys dig it. If not, go away.